My name is Rainelle Houghton, and we're at the Rancho Bernardo History Museum, and I'm here to interview Mr. Tom Cook. From here, I will be asking Tom questions, and we will find out what it was like to move to Rancho Bernardo and what he has done here. So, Tom, take it away.
Thank you, Rainelle. A little worried that it's Friday the 13th, but we'll muck it through, okay? How can I help you?
Well, we would like to ask you a few questions. First of all, your full name,
Thomas Frank Cook.
okay, and your wife,
Jacqueline, called Jackie Cook.
okay.
Jacqueline Ann Cook, excuse me.
Okay. Do you have children?
I have 4 children, 3 boys and a girl.
Did they go to school here in Rancho Bernardo?
None of them, they're quite grown by now.
Oh, okay.
That woman's retired.
Yeah, I know. You never know, though. What year did you move here?
1985.
And what was Rancho Bernardo like then?
30 years ago, it was quite different from it is now. One big difference is all the roads that you see in the freeways are now many lanes, and in those days it was only 2 lanes. Pomerado was only a 2-lane road, paved, but now it's gotten big, and a lot of changes, yes.
Yeah.
And the people have changed.
In what way?
Well, a little more sophisticated now, maybe.
Oh, well, yeah,
Of course, we've all changed in those 30 years, too.
that's true. And what did you do in Ohio? Or what was your profession?
Well, my profession is engineering, combined engineering and mechanical and industrial engineering. And I evolved into a certified value engineering specialist here in the United States. And I work for Abbott Labs, the Singer Company, and Huffy Manufacturing out in Dayton, Ohio, doing basically engineering design, and moved into marketing and promotion. I left Abbott Labs in '77 and formed my own consulting practice out of Chicago with offices in Denver and Dayton, Ohio, and so forth. And we did consulting work, and that's how we made my living.
So what brought you to Rancho Bernardo?
Did a couple of studies here and got involved in West Coast, solar being one of them in the early days, and so forth. And I got tired of the snow that people in Chicago have, because basically Jackie and I are Chicago people. And so we said, let's get out of the snow and come to California, and I'll run the business from the coast. Well, it didn't work out, because when you try to do things in Midwest, they're very successful. You try to sell and promote in the West Coast, and it's a completely different animal. And to this day, I don't quite understand. I've got some theories on it. But anyway, so I began to travel, and one night I was 6 hours coming out of Boston, heading for San Diego, saying, why am I doing this? And it's a good thing, because I was up in the bar. They used to have bars and those planes in the old days, and that was another thing. Anyway, so I decided I'll try to run it from here. That didn't work, so I sold the business off to my son and my 2 partners, and I began to enjoy life.
There you go. How did you find out about Rancho Bernardo?
Well, I did a seminar with 2 other people at the RBN for the Singer Company, and a 2-day affair and all that sort of stuff, and it seemed kind of a nice place to live. And so when we moved out, Jackie and I said, we'll take a month in August here in San Diego, and we looked around at all different places. We liked Del Mar very much. Carlsbad is our second love, but our first love was Rancho Bernardo. And so we bought a place over in Eastview, a 3-level place, and we had that for 4 years and sold that and moved into into Marbella, and here in Oaks North, and just 2 blocks from the Bernardo Winery. So
There you go.
and that's where we live now.
So did you play golf?
I played golf until I made a hole-in-one out there and I said, that's it, I quit. And I was, because golf is such, I hope I don't offend anybody, but for me, golf is such an incredible waste of time. You don't play golf, you play golf for a whole day. You just can't do anything else beside that. And that's not my style. So I quit once I got my hole-in-one. So.
Oh, there you go. What brought you to start up the Historical Society? Were you a history buff?
A little bit, yes, but in the Midwest there isn't a lot of history. The East Coast is awash with history. And it became a hobby, a passion. I got involved with the History Society of Rancho Bernardo in the old days when Kathy Surface was president, and the whole museum was in a couple of yellow shelves in Kathy's garage. That was our operation. And spent all those years on the board. They introduced term limits, and I ran through one term, so I'm on a second term run. And it's a labor of love. It's just something I enjoy.
That's true. I know that you were also involved with some of the history across Lake Hodges, the Mule Hill and the old town of Bernardo, and the monuments that you were instrumental in putting up along that trail so that people have a more concise view of some of the history here. And you're associated with Sykes Adobe.
I got involved with the San Francisco Battlefield Volunteer. I'm on the board now. 25 years later, I'm still on the board. There's no term limit there.
Oh.
And having a lot of fun with meet once a month and so forth. And I became fascinated by the history of Rancho Bernardo. It was actually the town of Bernardo at the base of Mule Hill. I got involved in the battle itself. I got involved in a San Francisco Battlefield site location project about 10 years ago with George Ruby and two other gentlemen. They did a precise measurement of where things happen and what things happen at Mule Hill and so forth. And as a result of that, and then we joined the trail committee of the San Diego River Park, and on the Trails Committee and the Project Review Committee. And make a long story short, we put up 11 permanent signs 15 years ago at the base of Mule Hill down in the valley. I'm currently working on finishing the job after 10 years with the museum here. The next few years will be spent creating what is called San Francisco Valley Heritage Corridor. It's going to be a major undertaking, and it's 80% designed now, and we've got a third of the places in it. So that's the interaction between the state park, that's called Battlefield Volunteers, and the river park, of course, and that's where I'm going now.
Well, I guess the museum was your major involvement in Rancho Bernardo. Was there any other organizations you belonged to in Rancho Bernardo?
No, I belong to the Lutheran Church of the Incarnation over in Poway. I was active in that, church council and so forth, and various history groups and so forth, and discussion groups on it.
Okay, what's your favorite thing about the museum?
Wow. Displays. Exhibits and displays. Dramatics, visuals. To me, it's got to be alive. It can't be piles of clippings from newspapers, although it's essential that we have solid historic records. And that's what the collections department is superb at that. They're doing a magnificent job, second to none. But the equal balance is the theme park.
The theme park.
Display.
Well, what about the San Francisco Battlefield? That's an important event in this part of the world. How is that connected to Rancho Bernardo?
Well, when the Heritage Corridor of 10 miles length is in place in 2 years, you will have a direct walk. The trail is in now. You could walk from the town of Bernardo. Of course, you got to walk 2 miles over the hill, drive your car over. You can walk 10 miles all the way to the battlefield. It's all linked together. You'll be able to do that. You can do it now, but all the display and exhibits won't be installed by that time. So.
Sounds like quite a project.
Labor of love.
What would you say is the biggest change in Rancho Bernardo?
Wow. biggest change. The whole, in '85, people came here from the Midwest. There was a Chicago club. It was a huge 300-400 people. We all played golf. I had 3 tennis rackets. And I tried to get, Jackie had a teardrop, the last of the teardrop. And Jackie was good at tennis when we first moved here. And I was really good. I got the big aluminum Prince racket, like a big paddle, and that sort of stuff. And you don't see that anymore. You don't see the tennis courts full. You see them taking tennis courts out over at the end. 2 left, and there were 20 or 30 at the time. So that's a big change. The old refugees from the Midwest, we were one of them in '85. You couldn't go to get a home. You got on a waiting list. You went to the office and said, "I'll take number 605." That's what happened. We got a call one day. Says, "We got 605 ready for you over at Eastview. Thank you, we'll take it." You know, of course we knew the model number, but no one, people don't do that. Now they sell and,
Well, Rancho Bernardo is all built out at this point.
Totally
so
built out.
Everything is a resale.
Everything is resale.
The Rancho Bernardo is billed as one of the first successful comprehensive communities in the United States.
That is true.
And what makes it different than, say, Levittown or Ruston?
2 huge differences. One is all of the utilities, the power, the phone, is all underground. Levittown didn't have that. The other one was the amount of space between homes in Rancho Bernardo and Pike Pack, California is amazing. It's huge. Now, in the last 20 years, it got a little closer, but there's huge amounts of space. And of course, those trees don't belong here. All those pine trees, everyone got 2 pine trees in those days, 2 or 3, whatever it was. You put them in now,
They're huge.
So a lot has changed on that there. But I think the nature of the people is becoming more eclectic, whatever that means. It sounds like a fancy word, but
Yeah.
yeah.
In other words, it's a more diverse
Thank you. More diverse, yeah.
neighborhood now.
Yeah. I used to think if I had kids growing up now, I'd have them learn Spanish, I used to think. I wouldn't do that today. I'd have them learn Mandarin.
Really?
Because that's what's going to happen to Rancho Bernardo in 40 years. And expect it. Don't fight it. It's wonderful. When my in-laws came over from England and Germany, same thing happened. But we'll amalgamate.
So
But expect that.
that's one of the things you foresee for the future. Is there anything else?
I think we'll have a major earthquake. I'm convinced of that. We're due for one. I can say I won't be around.
Well, yeah, but we're not going to go into that.
Oh, why not? Okay.
At any rate, I've asked you a lot of questions. Is there something I missed that you would like to tell us?
No, I think I've shot my bolt. I'm pleased to share this with everyone. I hope that more use is made of our museum. But all the pieces are here. You just have to learn how to promote it and sell it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak.